Welcome to Alpha Wolf Trading. Did you know that there's over 12,000 stocks or companies that trade on the OTC? Between the NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange, you have over 7,000 companies. But us as retail investors, we wouldn't know that unless we were researching. Because why? Wall Street focuses on the elite, the big companies. And where the retail investor has their advantage is in small and micro-cap stocks. Why? Because you have the opportunity to speak directly with leadership. That is what this is all about here at Alpha Wolf Trading. We're trying to find the hidden gems, and we interview the executive teams of companies that we think meet the parameters to be those hidden gems. I also want to make sure you understand that this is not a paid-for promotion. I collect no compensation for the interviews I do here. These companies that I interview have been identified as potential opportunities for me and the members of Alpha Wolf Trading to receive a higher than average return on our investment. These companies I have identified either because of a technical setup on a chart, a fundamental change within the organization, new management team, new products, all kinds of different things that actually lead me here. But what do I think is the most important? Leadership. And that is why I do these interviews. I want to understand what drives the person that is leading the charge. I want to feel their passion. I want to understand their vision and the strategy that they're going to use to achieve success. That is what these interviews are for. I want to understand the share structure and the cap table, the size of the TAM, the total addressable market. This is the opportunity to learn all of those things. So sit back and enjoy. And if you learn anything from today's interview, do us a favor. Subscribe to the Alpha Wolf Trading YouTube channel. This video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. I am not a financial advisor. I recommend highly that before buying any security, speak to a financial advisor and do your own due diligence. Hey everybody, Tim from Alpha Wolf Trading coming at you with a follow-up on OLB, and there's been some unfortunate things that have happened, but the story I believe is still a good one, and they are working through some things. So Ronny and Patrick, I want to thank you guys for both taking the time to come back on. Ronny, you're in Bulgaria right now. It's like 10:30 at night. So, I mean, what a trooper. I really appreciate it. Let's talk about a few things that have happened since we last met, right? Sure. So one of the things that happened was you guys wound up having to do a reverse. And a lot of that hinged upon whether the SEC was going to be able to get you guys the DMint thing finalized for the spin out so that you could have potentially avoided having to do the reverse, right? You simply ran out of time.
Yes.
Is what happened.
Yeah, I mean, it was a timing issue in a way, because if we completed the DMint pretty much completion of the approval of the SEC, we believe stock would go up, we can dividend and everything. And as far as timing, that didn't work out. We had, very long time under $1, and we've been, in a way, either we're going to reverse split and comply with the NASDAQ rules, or we're going to be delisted. And literally, we kept it practically to the last minute. One day would be definitely delisted.
Right. So unfortunate, but what had to be done, right? If you wanted to stay listed on the NASDAQ. We're still working with the SEC on trying to get the approved spin out of DMint, right?
Yes, and actually last, I believe, Friday, Patrick, we received
Yes.
The round of comments that is much lighter, and we're going to address it probably within the next 10 days and return it back to them. It's shrinking and shrinking, so we are down to a small amount of comments that we're addressing.
Okay. So you still don't have a record shareholder.
No, we cannot put a shareholder record date until we get a letter from the SEC that we have no more comments.
Okay. Basically. All right. So there's one other kind of a big deal that's happened here, and it has to do with one of the recent acquisitions, right?
Yes, it's an acquisition for end of 2021 that we discovered that was a fraudulent transaction, was misrepresentation, and we put $16 million to the acquisition. It was running good until we got a letter of breach from Pfizer. And the people that sold us the portfolio at the bank totally misled us. They didn't disclose the information that it was a toxic and non-compliant portfolio that was violation with Visa and MasterCard rules.
Okay.
So that triggered pretty much, we're suing both parties. We're suing for totally reversing the transaction and claiming for $16 million and the legal fees as well.
Okay. And I mean, I'm not going to claim that this is just beginning in the legal process, right?
Well, we finished the part that is the discovery part.
Okay.
So we're pretty much getting ourselves wrapping up to go to a trial on the first case. There's two cases going on. One of them is in New York against the owners that sold us the portfolio and totally, defrauded us. It's a father and a son. And the other part is the bank itself in Texas that was in cahoots with them and pretty much hiding information, from us.
Okay. Where are you on the DMint facility? As the power? I know
the power is getting ready, and the thing is, the sooner we get clear and we have a spinoff, we'll be able also to raise money for a standalone for DMint only. The reason that we are avoiding raising money at OLB because we don't want to dilute the current shareholders that they're going to get one share of OLB and one share of DMint. So when we start raising money for DMint, it's going to be shares of DMint only.
Got it. Okay. And so one of the things that I had highlighted was that you guys had been doing, there's been some insider participation in terms of buying stock. And it was, it came back to me that, well, it wasn't really buying stock because it was a bonus or it was part of your compensation, right? In my head, whether it's still money that is coming out of you could have taken the compensation or you could have taken it in stock, right? To me, that's still money coming out of your pocket in my head.
Yes, not only this, we are also trying to avoid any either debt financing or equity financing. So we are putting money ourselves into the company. We're lending money to the company, not to avoid like toxic financing and any of those things.
Okay. So how is the bodega? How is that business functioning for you guys right now?
Actually, the bodega, we didn't announce it officially, but we purchased 100% of the bodega business. We used to own 80%. But by end of the first quarter, we acquired the 20% as well. And we planning to have probably in a week or two, we're going to announce that we're planning to rebrand the bodegas. We're planning to announce new products. So that's kind of one of the biggest products that we're looking forward to expand, besides the DMint projects.
Okay. Go ahead, Patrick. Yeah, I can see you're chopping at the bit here.
Well, even like today, I mean, talking about the bodegas, I had calls with them, and we're actually still, in the process of training more sales reps, getting them on the street. It's a very face-to-face intensive kind of business. It's not really like a cold call kind of business. So we're really building it out, and I think we're getting pretty close to having that done. But it's stabilized kind of where it's at. I mean, it actually does pretty well on its own, but I really think that's where some good potential will happen, especially in the merchant processing piece.
Okay.
So the plan is also within 100 days, we're going to start offering prepaid cards, credit cards, business cards, and cards that people can load their payroll. So you can walk into any bodega and can you sign up like in 5 minutes for the card. You can get instant card on the spot. And you can get also the same card in your wallet, like the iPhone wallet or Android wallet.
Okay. Okay. What are you guys most excited about as in the next six to 12?
It's the bodega and the DMint spinoff. I mean, we are kind of also first stages on doing digital banking and the new banking. So pretty much we completing the circle from the payment side, being in the almost like a bank. We're doing all the steps and having the banks, having the bodegas being some sort of like a mini branch for a bank.
Okay.
So that's very exciting because they can walk into the branch and they'll be able to pay their bills.
So let me clarify this case that you're currently in. Has that contributed to the decline in revenue?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. That's pretty much it was the revenues we forcibly shut it down. It's not like was declining. We physically shut it down because those merchants were not in compliance with the Visa MasterCard rules.
Okay.
And that is the case of the fraud.
So you've got right now, after the reverse, what, 1.8 million shares outstanding is about
Yes,
that?
approximately, yes.
Okay. What's the current market cap right now, Patrick?
It's around 7 million, I think. I can look real quick. 6, 7, see.
Do you guys think that that's a fair valuation?
Well, I mean, even with the decline of sales, it's still it's 0.5% of sales.
Right.
We're still on a pretty good target. I mean, it's very, very low compared to what our revenue is going to be.
Right. Right. So, I'm looking at the chart, and actually, I'm gonna have to move your logo for a second here, so that take a better look at this. But you're sitting at an area of potential support, right? Now, unfortunately, you just hit, all-time lows, but how do you confirm that was the absolute all-time low? Is if you go back down and you test it, which you kind of you don't have to test it to the penny, but you're really, really close with this candle right here, actually. You got really, really close to testing your all-time low. So this could be setting up for a double bottom. $3 essentially has to hold. If it breaks below $3, then technical guys are going to continue to play their book. If it holds here and you start to move up, and hopefully there will be some events that you guys can announce from a fundamental standpoint that would support the stock starting to move the other direction, right? Because right now it's in a downtrend, and maybe the DMint spinoff, maybe getting that finalized, maybe that'll be the catalyst. I'm not really sure, but the plan is still to do a 1-for-1, right, at the time of the spinoff.
You mean in terms of shares? Yes. Basically, it's a pro-rata distribution because the share price of DMint have to start with a $4 a share. So it depends on the price range that we're going to get the share price.
Right. Okay. All right. So let me ask you guys, what is the number one thing you would like either the shareholders or potential shareholders to know about OLB?
So for example, on DMint, you take DMint as a standalone company, the value of the company on opening would be worth around $30 million. So it's absurd that we have the holding companies like 20% and have amazing assets that are not being recognized. The bodega space, at some point is going to rise and shine as well, and at least as what we produce today with them, it's going to be a value of at least $10 million.
Okay. And you've got a total market cap right now of around 7.
Yes, 6, 7. So.
Right.
I'm laughing. It's not really funny because Patrick and I, we are hurt as well as shareholders in the company. So it's not like we don't care about the shareholders. We do care because it's part of us.
Right. Right. And I don't think that, for the record, I think you held off on doing the reverse for as long as you possibly could.
Right.
It was just, timing. You can't control the process of everything. That's the bottom line, right? You are not in control of everything. If you were, then it would be a different story. But unfortunately, that's not the case. So, I mean, how are you on cash right now? I mean, are you good?
Yes, we're good in respect of today we balanced the expenses and we filtered it properly. The biggest expense that we have today is the litigation fees. That's going to continue for a while until we, win. I'm going with a positive attitude, winning both cases because we've been defrauded. Meanwhile, if needed, we're going to personally finance the company, lend money to the company, and not getting to toxic loans.
Okay. Okay. The only thing that I could say is another thing that's beyond your control is how long this process, the legal process, takes, right? I mean, this could be an ongoing thing. You could have a lower court, a jury trial, you could win that, and then maybe they then come back and appeal it. And I mean, this could be and then I guess people would be concerned about the expenses of having to pay the attorneys, right?
Yes, and that's quite a bit expensive, I must say. But if we win the case and we are very positive about it, we're going to get reimbursed also of all the legal fees.
Right.
In this case, we have emergency ATM that we're not using it, and we have this ATM from beginning of the year. So that's kind of like almost emergency funds if we need to use. But at the moment, we're not planning to dilute anyone because we dilute the company, we dilute ourselves as well.
Right. Right. And I don't think that's something that you really are excited to do, right? I mean, you want to try to avoid that as much as possible.
Correct.
Right. Okay. All right, Patrick, anything else that you can think of that you would want your shareholders to know?
I think that keeping the DMint thing on the front line here, that's just a process. I mean, we're not doing anything to slow it down. We can't do anything to speed it up. I mean, we're just kind of at the mercy of the SEC right now. So it's a process. I just hope people understand that we're not doing anything to slow it down. It's just what it is. And I really feel confident once it's done, I think we're getting close. We'll be able to announce the record date and spin that off.
Okay. Okay. All right. Listen, guys, I appreciate you coming on and clearing things up or just telling people like it is. I mean, unfortunately, you don't control everything, but you are not, you're not folding up. You're not giving up, right? You're still moving forward, and you still have some exciting opportunities in front of you, right?
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay. All right, guys. Thanks, Ronnie. You're
Yeah.
awesome, man, for doing this from Bulgaria. Good job.
Thank you, Tim, for having us. Appreciate that.
Okay.
Thanks, Tim.
All right, guys. We'll have you. Thanks for tuning in to another CEO interview here at Alpha Wolf Trading. Today we have OLB Group, Ronny Yakov, CEO, and Patrick Smith, CFO. Ticker symbol OLB. I hope you enjoyed today's interview, and if you did, do us a favor, give us a like. How about giving us a share? And don't forget to smash that subscribe button. All of those things are extremely important to us here at Alpha Wolf Trading. We appreciate you taking the time to do that. Until next time, stay safe. Alpha Wolf Trading wishes you the very best of success.